Music and Booze with Mo is produced and distributed by EatsDrinksTV, a service of the Center for Culinary Culture, home of the Cocktail Collection, and First Reel Entertainment, and is available wherever fine podcasts can be heard. The Center for Culinary Culture, telling the story of food and drink, one taste at a time. Welcome to Music and Booze with Mo. I'm Mo Herms, and I've worked in the music industry most of my life, so have met some pretty amazing musicians over the years. I also love a good cocktail, and I've encountered some really interesting bartenders as well. It seems that there's a lot of crossover, so when I can, I like to talk to musicians and bartenders about music and booze. Join us at the bar, won't you? Music and Booze with Mo is brought to you by The Mermaid, an underwater oasis with tropical cocktails and more, located in the Little Tokyo district of downtown LA. Follow The Mermaid on Instagram at TheMermaidLA for a complete listing of hours, events, and more. The Mermaid LA is proudly woman and Latin owned, and you can visit them at 428 East 2nd Street in downtown Los Angeles. On this episode, we are going up to Vancouver, Washington, to talk with Mike Anders, who is currently at the Elbow Room, something that was opened up in 1970, if I remember correctly, and existed as its own kind of cocktail dive bar, and then actually got sort of worn down, and then got bought, and then got kind of just refurbished, but still like lives in that world of cocktail dive. But now it's got some new folks in there making some wonderful craft cocktails, Mike being one of them. So we're going to talk with him about how he got there and his like thousands of records, and how you probably shouldn't invite him to karaoke. He doesn't like it anyway, but if you invite him, well, just listen. You'll hear the story. So let's talk to Mike.
I'm Mike Anders. I live in Portland, Oregon. I work in Vancouver, Washington at a place called the Elbow Room.
Mm-hmm. So the Elbow Room's been around for a long time, but it's back on the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
So
the deal?
Paul's restaurant next door, I think, had opened in like the 50s or 60s, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then the space that is the Elbow Room now was, among other things, I think a shoe store and maybe like a workshop of some kind, but they opened it as the Elbow Room as a bar in like 1975, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Toby. Um, and it was the Elbow Room under those owners for a long time. It changed owners once in the past, and then they closed it. I think it was New Year's Eve 2024, going into 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And Mo and Paul bought it with Toby as a partner, Toby Maloney.
Okay.
Um, and so he's more, I was the bar side of things, he's Toby. And they do more of the restaurant side of stuff. And Paul and Mo, their whole thing is, one of their things is buying old like diners
Mm-hmm.
have been kind of left in states of disrepair or
Yeah,
whatever
they're just kind
over
of
the years.
aged,
Aged a little bit, yeah.
aged without any uh what is it called? Glow ups.
Maybe less grace than is ideal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are you doing right there? And so they buy them and rehab them and just, bring the quality up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, take some stuff that was previously just using whatever Cisco, just
Yeah.
not slop, but maybe
Just
the most
clean things up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And now they make like everything in house. Like they do corned beef in house. They like roast turkey. They like
Mm.
um make pretty much all the sauces. It's like it's very much like a scratch kitchen in a call it 1960s, 1970s, like retro
Like diner.
kind of.
Well, you say retro diner, but is it really? I mean, it was actually built during that time
Oh
period
yeah, I
then.
mean it's
So
not like
it's
they didn't
like
go in there and like make it look
now
like
it's
a
retro, but it's
diner.
yeah.
Right. This is not like the
It's
scene in
survived
Pulp
long enough
Fiction.
to become retro in its
Right.
original state, more or less.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's
it's
cool. That's a cool space to be able to work in, I'm sure.
yeah, no, it's cool. It's like it reminds me of I'm from New Jersey originally.
Mhm.
And it doesn't have the same like Jersey diners are like very like it's a pretty specific feeling. A lot of them are built like in the 50s and the 40s.
Mhm.
But then remodeled in like the 70s and 80s. So it's a lot of like
Yeah.
plastic.
So, tell
Yeah.
me about your like trajectory into bartending and stuff. Like, when did you first start up?
Um,
It's that long ago, huh?
well, I've been in the service industry for about 20 years. I'll be
Yeah.
38 in May.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So you started when you were like high school, just out of high school kind of thing.
like right, I went to college in Philadelphia for a couple semesters.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine who was also from Jersey, we like lived together and he's like, just if you need some money, like just come work in this
Just
restaurant with me.
yeah, yeah.
And I like went to work in like it's called a Mooshaloo. It was like this 19th century like boat that they had like cemented into the docks.
Oh
Like
wow.
and it's all like black was painted, made to look like it was I think it sailed up to like the 30s and 40s.
Wow.
But it was like 80s, 90s fine dining.
Uh-huh.
It was very old school, like white tablecloths and back servers and um I'm sure the food was all very like, a pound and a half of butter per dish. Like the clientele was,
You had a
old.
heart attack after a couple of meals.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Um,
probably tipped decently.
I know it's like I
Don't
was
even
like,
remember because you're 18 years old. Yeah.
I have no idea. Like $35 is probably a ton of money
Yeah,
for
that's
like
true.
19-year-old, like I know servers did weird, like they were busy and they, the price point
Mhm.
was high, so servers made probably
Yeah.
great money.
Yeah.
Um, but I have no idea.
So when were you getting to bartending then? So you were in hospitality and at some point you got behind the bar.
Yeah, it took a while. I
Yeah.
moved
Did
back.
you want to get back behind the bar or did it sort of
No,
just happen? Yeah.
not at all. I'm actually like so the funniest thing about bartending for me is that like I like it a lot now.
Mhm.
I love what I do generally, like
Yeah.
genuinely. I think
Yeah.
it's great. It's killing my body, but like it's
Uh.
you know um it I had like really bad social anxiety when I
Oh
was young.
wow.
And so part of my like not even just like the making the drinks, but like it was just talking to people.
Yeah.
That was terrifying to like 22-year-old me.
Wow. So
Um,
you couldn't say just put me at service well and leave me here.
well, so that's kind of what it ended up happening was that like
Okay.
I moved to Florida
Mhm.
for a couple of years and I worked at this place called Park Tavern and the guy who owns it became my friend, Brian. And I was bar backing for him and he's like, "You want to bartend?" I was like, not really, but like, sure, I guess. Um, so I
You're
like
like,
studied.
only if I could do it this way.
Right, well, that's what I was like staring at this
Yeah.
wall. So that's what I did. And when I finally like got decent, I would be the service well bartender for like Friday and Saturday nights usually.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got okay with talking to people because I had to, some days I wouldn't, I would work, the point wells, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, but it's how I got like really fast.
I was gonna say, if
Like
you were
it's
doing
just
that, you're just cranking out drinks like
cranking drinks all
all
night.
night long. Yeah.
Yeah. And this was like, it's Florida. It has a big patio. It's
Yeah.
like, in March, it's like the high season, so you're seating like 250 at a time.
Yeah. And what kind of drinks were you cranking out?
They,
Is it all just like margaritas and
I mean, yeah, but it's so Brian's a fucking psychopath. Um, he, he, this place we sat like probably 250 with everything, right? And
Oy.
it was like a gastropub kind of a deal.
Mhm.
But he also got into like all of the like craft cocktail stuff that was got like sort of like the second wave of it in like 2012,
Mhm. Mhm.
2011. Um,
Yeah, I feel like that's when it
so
really poured out of New York and like San Francisco, and like everybody started
right,
like,
right. And so then he was on the cut, like, he wanted to just keep up with all that stuff.
mhm.
So we would go 4 to 5 deep on a Friday or Saturday night, but he wants to do, smoked old fashions, wants to do 5 bottle pickup whiskey sour riffs with egg whites.
Oh wow.
Pre-batch anything. Like nothing was pre-batched.
Oh
So
God.
like making our own, like beet syrups and infusions, and we made a house fireball, and like he wanted to do a coffee Manhattan kind of thing, but he got obsessed with like sphered ice where you fill it with like the drink and
Yeah.
you throw the table
And
side with a
then
hammer.
and yeah, presentation.
Right. So he wanted to do that for a minute. So there was about maybe a month or two where I was hanging fucking water balloons in a freezer and then timing it so that they would freeze just the outer shell, right?
Oh
And then
God.
I would get a soldering iron and poke a hole in it, drain the water out, and then like gently put it in the glass and then make the cocktail with the syringe and pump it into the
Oh my
ice things on
God.
the table
So you
side.
were not only learning the craft, you were learning like
Like very quickly,
crazy presentation kind of stuff. That's like over the top
like
kind of.
he went out and bought like a immersion, not even just we did immersion circulator stuff too, but he went out and got one of those like um the machines that cleans like dental tools like ultrasonically,
Oh God, yeah.
right? So, but what that does is it makes infusions happen real fast.
Hmm.
So he went out and started doing that shit, and it
Oh
was
my
just
God.
because he had money because he had a couple of successful restaurants, so he could just
Uh-huh.
whatever new toy he wanted to get,
Yeah. Your
and that
eyes
was
got so big just now. Well,
it
okay.
was
So that
yeah.
sounds insane. However, was there any part of that that you in like were like, okay, this is kind of cool. I gotta admit it,
No, it was
because you were
cool.
just too busy. It was always cool. You were just like, this is maniacal, but I'm kind of having a blast.
That is the fucked up part about this industry is that it's like it is kind of. So I was talking to Toby the other day, and it was like, and probably an hour before service, and I'm like, you know what? We should put this drink in the menu. We should put like a pilot on. And I'm texting him, and I'm like, I gotta make this thing and this thing, and I was like, what kind? Like nothing like changing a cocktail menu like 15 minutes before you open. Like you just like decide that you're gonna make this rum blend all of a sudden, and you get, which is probably why I think I'm pretty sure I'm autistic a little bit, but I also think I have that odd ADHD like
Hmm.
combo because I get like I go into like hyper focus when that happens.
Yeah,
The brain just like locks in, and I'm like,
doing it.
what are we doing here? Like, what's how can I like pack as much shit into the next 5 minutes as I possibly can? And it's fun. It's
That's kind of amazing. Kind of amazing. I mean, it's the same thing. I find that I'm good in an emergency sort of thing. When everybody else is freaking out, I just don't. And
yeah.
then maybe like 2 days later, I'll be like, what the actual fuck?
Like, we're gonna,
Yeah. Okay. Now okay. Everything's good. I'm going to go have a meltdown now. See you guys in 10.
it's fine. My wife's the same way. Yeah,
So
she's like
this
super
experience, and
ADHD.
this was all in Florida when you were doing all of this
Mhm.
molecular stuff and crafty stuff, and you were just kind of thrown into it, it sounds like.
Yeah, I
And
mean it was.
so, like, where'd you go from there? I mean,
Um,
that's
I
like a pretty specific skill set in a way. So where do you take it?
um
Or do you
moved
just calm down?
I mean, kind of. It would. I just went more to like the restaurant side of stuff.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I met my ex-wife in Florida, and she lived in San Francisco,
Mm.
so a long distance thing for a while. And then I was like, I want to move in with you. Like, I'll move across the country, and we
Yeah.
did that.
San Francisco. Mm.
And I hated it first actually, but I liked it after a while. Um,
Yeah, it's tricky up there.
yeah, it was just like this isn't.
It's just tricky.
It, yeah. Um, what did I do? I worked for
I mean, a lot of bars up there though,
a
like
lot of
for a
bars,
long time. A lot of great bars up there.
a ton of restaurants, obviously.
Hmm.
I wanted to, I didn't think about it as like what do I want to do
Hmm.
as far as this town. I just needed a job.
Yeah, yeah.
So I started working for Big Night Restaurant Group. They own
Okay.
like Leo's Oyster Bar and Marlowe.
Yes. Okay.
What's her name? Anna Weinberg.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I worked for her for a while, and we opened Cow Marlowe in Cow Hollow because that was the best thing they can come up with. And I was their like bar, I'll call it lead bartender. I wasn't really a manager. I didn't really hire anybody. I don't think I
Yeah.
really ordering. I just kind of, made sure everybody was not fucking the drinks up essentially. And
That's an important gig.
yeah, and it was terrible mostly. I mean, it was a failed. They tried to take the Marlowe concept and just drop it into Cow Hollow,
Hmm.
and the marina, and of
Yeah.
course, marina is
Marine is
not
a very different, yeah,
great, and
very
I don't think
different
that she fully
community.
got that.
Yeah.
And you know, so I could I could see the writing on the wall like coming pretty quick, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. Like this is not gonna
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
there. But pardon.
Hmm.
Um, I went to I just kept going on the restaurant side of stuff.
Hmm.
Went to Spruce.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I worked there for a couple of years, for like a year before the pandemic, essentially.
Mm. The
Um,
pandemic was a big change. Is that what got you up to Portland finally?
yeah,
Probably that and divorce.
so we didn't get divorced
I'm
as
making
quickly as we should
assumptions.
have. No, it was essentially one long relationship. We got married, but like we
Uh-huh.
didn't share any assets. It was just kind of like we signed paperwork and had a big wedding and spent a bunch of money for no reason. Went on my honeymoon and then came back and we got divorced. And the honeymoon was like, is this going to save us? Yes or no? And no, it's not great. We're getting divorced.
So, all
So
right then.
yeah. Um, and we moved to Portland together
Hmm.
in 2020 because interest rates were insanely low. And
Hmm. Hmm.
my ex-wife works for tech companies, so she made a ton of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
And she could just like she had money for the house. So we bought a house. Um, and what was it? We moved
And
there.
then so you came to Portland then during the pandemic.
Yeah, we moved in December
Yeah.
23rd, 2020.
Oh wow. So kind of at the end of that year. So things are starting to
Yeah,
open back up again, I'm guessing, and
yeah, it
slowly but
was.
surely.
I remember looking for a job and there was nothing. And I didn't work for like 4 months.
Mm.
Um,
That
I worked
must that just
at
feels so bad, when you're stuck
I
like
was just
that.
it was yeah,
Yeah.
just drinking heavily, like reminding myself. Not that I drink so much less now,
But yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Well, I
it,
think during the pandemic, a lot of people were drinking heavily.
there's nothing else to do. Like,
Yeah,
you
it
know what I
was.
mean? The whole day
I
to
was
do.
joking around. I'm like, oh, during this pandemic, it's like let's just because I was married at the time. It's like we're just having dance parties and drinking.
Yeah,
I
what else are you gonna do? Like,
mean, it was fun. At the end of the year, when I was putting together like my best ofs for the year, they were all like disco. It was all these like artists that were really like high energy pop dance music and stuff like
so
that. I'm
much
all,
Donna
okay,
Summer.
well, I guess I know. I guess I know what I did this whole year.
Yeah,
So much distraction.
yeah.
But yeah, so when you did start working again, where did you find yourself?
Um, I went to back to Jersey for a couple, like 2 months.
Oh
Because
wow.
it's just like I don't know what to do here. Like, somebody was, I think my brother had his first kid, maybe.
Wow.
I
You're
don't
like,
remember, but
okay, let's try the family thing.
sure, they're having a family, I guess now. I don't know. So when I got back in like March, maybe. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I found a place called Holler. Um,
Holler. That's kind of a great
Holler.
name.
It was,
I like the name. I mean, how was the
yeah,
place?
the branding and the name really didn't mesh, but it was from a group here. They had Bullard in the Woodlark Hotel, if
Oh,
you're
okay.
familiar with that.
Hmm.
Um, so they had this concept for like a family-friendly sports bar in Selwood.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of a little like neighborhood down like on the water
Okay.
southwest of here. Um, and it was like fried chicken and burgers and in like one of those new apartment buildings with the retail
Mm.
bottom, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So the
Mixed
neighborhood was like a
mixed
little
use
like,
space. Hmm.
well, they ripped out the YMCA is in,
Oh, that's
and
kind of,
the neighborhood was like,
yeah. Well, that seems kind of, yeah. I
right,
would see that people would be apprehensive,
a little bit,
but they're trying to make it a family friendly place,
sure. And I didn't
which,
realize a lot of this when I signed on for this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
I
a
saw,
controversial spot.
right, I saw this new build at this beautiful bar, and the branding was like very like, kids gymnasium-y, but I was
Hmm.
like, the bar is just a
It's a
fucking
beautiful space.
battleship. Like it was just like, and it had like three wells, and I was like, oh my God, this place is gonna be so busy.
This is the first time I've ever heard a bar referred to as a battleship, and I
Oh, it's
love
like,
it. I love it because
yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, yeah. It's like we're gonna get a war behind this
Yeah,
thing. It's
I think that's
great.
amazing.
And I I interviewed with a friend of mine now, but Daniel Osborne,
Mhm,
who worked at Teardrop for a long time. He's been here for like 20 years,
mhm.
over 20 years, and has been in bars pretty much the entire time.
Yeah.
So we got along well. Um, I didn't know him, but I knew after talking to him for like a little bit that he had like a cocktail brain, but wasn't a pretentious dick about it. And the drinks were like fun, and he had this like it was like this crazy cocktail program for this like fried chicken sports bar, man. Like
Mhm.
it was kind of all over the place, but it was fun stuff.
But
It
you were
was
like into that.
serious
Yeah.
cocktails. It was, like he just covered like every base. He was doing like Midwest like red beer with like cheese and cracker snacks as like a thing you could order on the menu, like
Yeah.
um and I was like grad. And then it didn't really like it would get busy for like certain, like a Blazers game was on or something like that. We would
Yeah.
get busy or, like some group decided to have the dining room. Things brought business in, but it never caught on. The
Mhm,
concept was never going to stick
mhm.
because it just did. Portland doesn't like that corporate shit, man. Like they don't
Yeah. No,
that,
they don't. Hmm.
they
Not if it
want
feels
people
like it. I
right.
like the idea too, but if it came across feeling like that, I could see how, I
Yeah.
mean, I've got friends who, a couple friends of mine who love women's soccer, and
Hmm.
they're a, cis couple, guy
Hmm.
and girl, and they take their little daughter to this lesbian bar to watch women's soccer. And it's, just as family friendly and everything. And I'm like, I would love to go there and hang. That sounds great.
We have
Sounds
a sports bra.
Yeah, sport. I think we have something too, just down the street from where I am. I don't think it's Sports Bra, but it's something similar. It's another women's owned, only
Yeah.
shows women's sports kind of
Yeah.
thing. I
Yeah.
love that stuff. So yes, that's more the vibe that
Yeah.
maybe needed to be a little, brought out there
A
and
little more
everything.
organic, not like they
Yeah.
tried to like they just literally dropped a family friendly chat GPT sports bar. Like that's what it felt like that.
Yeah, yeah. So you're like, oh, such great ideas back here, but it's not happening.
It's such good
So,
ideas.
like, what got you to Elbow Room eventually?
So it was Daniel. Daniel called me when I was not at my wedding, but like the day before my wedding, saying I'm quitting. He was the GM, and they were overworked, and he was just like, I'm out. Like, so it's like it's your bar now. Like, I don't know, man. They're gonna hire a GM.
And this
Um,
was Elbow Room, or this was still the sports
this
bar?
was still Holler. This was
At Holler,
so
yeah. Mhm.
he leaves. I leave shortly after.
Yeah.
I talked to a mutual who ended up being a coworker at the next place.
Mhm.
She's like, just talk to Daniel. Like, we're all going to this place. You could probably just come with us.
Ah.
So he went back to expatriate.
Okay.
And so myself, Audrey, and Daniel ran the bar at expat,
Hmm.
and Audrey and I were the first two like post-COVID reopening hires.
Okay.
Um, and I was at expat for almost 4 years.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and I love that bar. To me,
Hmm.
it's like the height of that bar when the lighting is like lighting's down, candles were all lit, and like we played a whole bunch of music, but like no, that room floated, man. Like that was
Yeah.
just it was like the best. Um,
Yeah.
but 4 years in the same space
Yeah. Yeah. Time to
was
change it up a little bit.
gonna change it up a little bit.
Yeah. And that's what got you to Elbow Room.
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
I saw like I think it was a post ad, and I
Hmm.
was just like, I'll do
To
premium
see what happens.
right now. Yeah.
It sounds like a cool space to be at, though. I mean, you still get to be crafty, but it's still kind of divey, right?
Yeah, no,
No pun
exactly.
intended.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's or at the bar, there's no table service. Expat is like, fine dining with a cocktail program.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's all table service. It's all very like you have to be seated or
Hmm. Hmm.
come back later.
Hmm. So
Oh,
completely different vibe over at Elbow Room then.
totally.
So, and I noticed too from, and I'm not sure if you have any involvement in this, like something that Elbow Room really sells, like the music side of things. Like they're just like, we've got vintage vinyl. Do you guys play records in there, or what is the?
Oh yeah, it's all records.
It's all records. So
Yeah.
it is it like, do you guys have like a turntable there and you just slap on a record for the night? Do you have DJs that come in, or how
No,
does that work? Because I just wonder, because the vintage vinyl is like a part of the website and part of the
sure.
like the marketing and promo. I'm
And I
like,
try to, so we have Paul. So Paul's mother passed away like last year or 2 years
mm-hmm,
ago.
mm-hmm.
And we have her old cell phone in the bar that we
Oh.
like it's basically just connected to Instagram. And so we can make posts and like
Mhm.
do like light promo stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'll just put whatever record I'm playing up on a little there's like a shelf behind the turntable.
Hmm.
And I'll just like take a picture and
Oh,
just put it on Instagram as a story. Just as I don't
just
want
to
to,
throw it up. Well, yeah.
be
Well,
like we're
so
playing.
okay, so you grab a record. What's the policy on the albums that get played there?
Um,
Where did the records come from?
so there's there's a bunch of stuff that they bought when they
Mhm.
opened the bar, and
Yeah. Kind of
they
starter kit.
right, they just went to vintage stores and
Yeah.
record shops and just bought a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been slowly kind of like culling it down to stuff to like, what do we actually listen to here?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, listen like
What works?
yeah, the
Yeah.
Perry Como records probably should go back to Goodwill. That stuff, like I don't need Helen Reddy's fourth album, but there's also great, it's like they found there's like an old copy of it's like Thelonious Monk at the Black Hawk Live in 1960
Oh my
that's like
God.
beat up, but like it's great, you know?
There's something about the beat up quality though, because even if you're playing it in there, you can hear those kind of pops and hisses and stuff, which is
Yeah,
kind of cozy, I
I
think.
like that. I, I don't like that vibe all the time. I like clean records.
Yeah.
Like there's something to be said the warmth of vintage vibe. It's like, well, there's a lot of
Depends.
there's a
Depends.
lot of
Yeah.
factors that go into that, and it's
So
not ideal all the time.
so
Yeah,
then what are the records that have stuck around that you guys keep, that you find pop up with some regularity? And do you guys bring in your own too
yeah. So
sometimes?
as I was gonna say, I
Oh
actually
yeah.
collect.
You collect some vinyl?
I have I called it. I donated some to work, and I'm also just donating some to Goodwill.
Okay.
Um, I got it back under 1,000. I was just
It's good to call the herd from time to time.
Mhm.
I used to have thousands of records, and then at some point I was like, I keep moving. This is really hard to do.
Yeah,
So I think I've got it probably down to about 1,000 as well. And I kind of
yeah.
I try to have a mentality of if something new is coming in, does something have to go? Or have
Yeah,
you really got it down to where you want it at this point? Because
right.
back in the day, you just bought whatever, and then
Sure.
suddenly you had like a whole room full of records and everything.
Right.
But how many were you listening to? So what do you take to the what do you take to the elbow room?
Um, I was like trying to do it as like a themed thing for a minute. I try to pick,
The vibe for the night.
yeah, kind of. I just kind of grab something. I'm like, all right, I guess tonight it's all like late seven. Like the other night, I brought in like late 70s, like 1977, 78, like very smooth production stuff. Steely Dan and like Pablo Cruz
Oh my
and
God, that's hilarious.
fucking like what's it, Firefall, like all these like Steely Dan, like kind of
Yeah, that kind
yacht
of
rock,
it's not
like
yacht rock, but it's kind of the smooth rock
yeah, yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Uh, James Taylor self-titled record from 77. Like,
Ooh. You know what? I would have gotten a kick out of that night, I'm sure.
it's easy to like because it
You're like, we're
chaos is fun
creating a
sometimes.
groove. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, right. Well, that's chaos is fine sometimes, but especially if I find it's easier to if you're busy to just like have one trajectory
Yeah.
with like the night, for the most part, um, and keep like one genre or like one kind of general like vibe going
I
versus
think that kind of puts a little control over the crowd too, in a way.
sure,
I find like at my bar, for us, if we're wanting to put ourselves in a mood where we want everyone to kind of just gel,
yeah,
not like people are behaving badly or whatever, but maybe it's for our own mental health or something.
totally,
It's like 90s R&B and hip hop.
yeah,
Right into that 90s R&B and hip hop, and everybody kind of goes to a place and it's a nice
hmm
place. So we're like,
hmm
okay, we're good now. Okay, but there are certain things that can absolutely, put a crowd into a place, and it's
for
still a
sure,
good place. And
yeah.
so that's in a diner, or I shouldn't say diner, in like a retro diner vibe. That sounds like a blast though, to have Pablo Cruz pop up.
It's fun.
So
Um,
you yourself mentioned to me that you like have picked up instruments here and there. Like you said
yeah.
that you played bass for a hot second when you were a kid and picked up things. When you picked that up, why did you? Why did you decide, you know what, I want to play bass? What inspires you to do that?
Um, I think I think I like the idea of like setting a groove with individual notes,
Hmm.
Like I don't really have any interest in playing chords. And that doesn't appeal to me for whatever reason. I think I like the idea that you can sort of punctuate
Mhm.
time in a song in a way, or the jam or groove, whatever,
Mhm.
with something like that.
Well,
Uh,
what songs were you hearing where you're like, that's cool, I want to do that? Do you even remember at this point?
oh
Something
God,
had to have inspired you to
yeah,
want to
it was.
do
I
that.
learned how to play Led Zeppelin's "How Many More Times"
Oh,
bass
wow.
for like a minute. I wasn't great at it, but like I could kind of get it. And I love that it just drones. It's the same bass line for like 6 minutes. And it was also, I don't sing karaoke. I don't enjoy it, but for like a minute there when I was younger, in Philly, I would get blasted drunk and sing that song.
Oh my God. They must
Really,
have
I
hated you.
cannot sing like at all. And I would just like wail on the fucking karaoke board.
Everybody else in the room was just tuning out.
Oh, 100%. And there's also that like 2 minute interlude in the middle of the song. It's like the bass line and like
Oh my God, that's
just
horrible, but I
guitar
love
like
it.
screeches and stuff. Yeah.
Well, what other instruments did you pick up? You're like, maybe I'll try this because you mentioned that you kind of tried a couple here and there.
No, I mean,
No, just really just bass.
just bass. I mean, I like friends have had drum sets, and I've tried to like bop around on them for a second, but I don't have with bartending,
Yeah.
my brain can go in like six different directions, and I have like compartments for everything, right? And my
Mhm.
arms are doing independent things, and
Yeah.
but the rest of my brain is quiet. It's all just like automated. Drumming doesn't do that. My brain isn't that. don't understand how people just like this is doing, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
So basically, at some point, you realize, okay, my musical skills are best spent collecting records
Correct.
and sharing with people this way.
Right. And nerding out over sound systems and
Oh,
that kind
that's
of
good too. Do you
yeah,
remember
yeah.
what the first record you got was?
Yeah, Beach Boys Pet Sounds.
Nice. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's quite a choice for a first one.
It was in an Urban Outfitters. I think I bought shitty suitcase like Crosley, record players. And a new copy of Beach Boys Pet Sounds that I still
That
have.
that you still nice. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. I try to think back and because I'm older than you, mine was like a 45 or something. I think I finally had babysitting money and I'm sure it was ABBA. It was something like that. It was like an ABBA 45. I don't take a chance on me. I think that's what it was.
That's great.
Although my parents were giving me records when I was little.
Okay.
So we were very much a music family. Everybody listened to all kinds of music. So I had records before I bought my own. It was like every Disney record that ever existed, I owned.
The plastic record player
Like no,
thing,
like big. Yeah, I did have one of those little turntables, the little
Fisher
Fisher
Price ones.
Price turntable and
Yeah.
everything. But for whatever reason, my parents got me like probably just from Sears or J.C. Penney's or something, like an actual stereo system when I was a little kid. It had a tape deck, it had an 8-track. I could plug in microphones. I had
That's
microphones.
cool.
We were not a wealthy family by any stretch. And I remember that my turntable had pitch control on it. And that was something I didn't encounter again until I started DJing like decades later.
Yeah.
And I think about it, I'm like, why on earth did that turntable have pitch control? And it went up to like 78s, but my father had 78s that he'd lend me to listen to in my room. I have
So,
no idea why my parents splurged and did that. They must have seen from early on that I was going to
it can
work
play
in
seven.
music. Could play 78s, yeah.
It's
It could play
seven.
16, I think is the lowest it goes. It was like 16. Someone's going to email me and go, no, it's 15 or whatever. 16,
It's a
33,
neck beard out
45,
there,
and
actually.
78. Yeah, whatever the slowest one was an
Yeah.
option. But I've never
Yeah.
seen whatever needs to be at that rotation. I don't know what that object is. I know. Isn't that Victrola speed? I mean,
Yeah,
come
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like what
on.
it tape
So so
rotary,
something
like
I
yeah.
know what I don't even know what it could be. But for you, when you are bringing in your records and everything, since you do love music, love listening to it, have you ever had the opportunity to craft a cocktail inspired by a song or a musician or anything like that? Do you guys ever have like
No,
music oriented menus, or you yourself just
I just like naming shit after songs. That's like I'm a deadhead.
oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so like for a while on the elbow room menu, like all of the specialty cocktails, I was naming like Franklin's Tower and like Pure Magnolia and just like different dead songs just for the hell of it.
So, well, I'm sorry about Bob Weir then.
Thank you.
I was in San Francisco when Jerry Garcia died.
Really?
So that was because I was living up there for a really long time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so that was I shouldn't say I was living there, but my brother was actually in the Haight Ashbury that day,
damn.
and he was visiting me and went out for the afternoon,
Yeah.
and then I remember hearing the news because I worked at a radio station and we were like, oh no. And then I thought, oh, my brother's out there. He's not going to be able to get home because he'd
I
just
mean,
taken the bus and the BART and everything. And he called me from a payphone because, it was like in the 90s.
yeah.
He called me from a payphone. He's like, I don't know what's happening out here. There's all these people and they're all just dancing around piles of trash. And I was like, Jerry Garcia died. And he's like, oh, I'm like, yeah. And you're like ground zero basically
Yeah,
everyone's going to be congregating there. I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
well, and I told him how to get out and get back home. But when he was told me they're dancing around piles of trash, I just laughed so hard. I'm like, I'm sure it's flowers and teddy bears and things
Right,
like
right.
that.
I mean, also it's the hate, which is,
Which is
that
always a little, but you take
yeah.
one of the cultural signifiers of that whole area and boom. So I mean, since Bob Weir just passed away, you've got to do a memorial cocktail for him. It sounds like,
I did. I think I
yeah,
named the Sugar Magnolia was like the day after he died or something like that.
yeah. What was in that drink?
Um, it was so a lot of the elbow room drinks are all the specialty drinks
Hmm.
are boom based. So it's 2 ounces of base spirit, 2 ounces of the boom, which is all the flavoring components.
Okay, I'm like, yeah, what's boom? I've not heard that.
It's a Toby
Okay.
acronym. It's this
Proprietary secret.
kind of, I mean, it's like there's a recipe sort of, but it's loose. It's
Yeah, yeah.
basically making like a tea syrup and then adding like a fruit puree and then a modifier or
Oh,
two,
okay.
as far as the cores and vermouth and sherry, whatever you want to call it goes.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
cool.
and then you just balance that with citrus.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so it's just a really quick way of making complicated, 5 or 6 pickup cocktails
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah.
It's not technically batching because the base spirit's not in there, but it's
hmm But it makes it a little bit simpler for the night.
yes, yeah.
So yeah. Well, you can always use it, especially, in a busy place. It's always nice to have
Totally.
a break.
I mean, it's great to pick up 2 bottles and
Yeah,
then
that too.
yeah,
Oh, well, I'm glad that you had that opportunity then to respect the man for that. That's wonderful.
for sure.
So, a question I always like to ask folks is, when you are on your own, when you're chilling out, you're having your downtime,
Yeah.
what do you like to sip on? What do you like to be listening to?
Um, I mean, I'm,
A lot of people don't even drink when they get home. So,
for
that's
sure. I
okay.
mean, I usually honestly just grab a Miller Lite.
Yeah,
Like if I have a little bit of whiskey, that's
yeah,
great.
that's good.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, my brain is just like shutting down.
Yeah. So then what are you listening to?
Um, when I get home, like honestly, that late, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
My wife's asleep. Like,
Yeah.
um, if I'm home, usually honestly, it's in the morning.
Mhm.
It's a cup of coffee in the morning, and I'll throw on, like a couple of modern jazz quartet records.
Mhm.
Just like I like jazz a lot, which I think ties into the Grateful Dead
I was
thing.
gonna say, I was just about to say that goes with the
They're a
Grateful Dead
jazz band
thing.
that plays rock and roll,
Yeah.
essentially. Um, yeah, I listen to a lot of jazz. The modern jazz quartet is like pretty easy listening. Like it was very popular in the '60s, like just
Mhm.
like background jazz when.
Yeah.
I'd say they're not incredibly talented players as well, but it's pretty,
But it's nice for a mood.
yeah, it's
So
pretty nice.
this is kind of like the sense I've gotten from you and talking with you about being at Elbow Room and yourself is just kind of just creating a mood, which I mean
Yeah,
is a bar thing, but you've definitely talked about it in terms of, well, I'm sliding in these records and making this the theme for the night. And, here's the cocktail for
yeah,
the night. It's just really coming in there and being the architect of the mood for the evening, which sounds lovely, honestly.
yeah.
And so cool. Well, I think that's all I got for you and
Okay.
everything. So if you've got any socials or anything you want to share, whether it's the bar or yourself or anything like that, go ahead and tell folks. If you don't, you're a lucky person. I'm very envious of anyone who does it to the social
Um,
stuff.
I mean, I think the Instagram for Elbow Room is Elbow Room 1970.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
there's the year. Okay.
yeah,
I'll verify it. We'll look at it. So,
yeah.
yeah, we'll check that. And yeah, if you don't have them for yourself, congratulations. And thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Thanks, Mo.
Big thank you to Mike for taking the time to chat with me and tell me all about that scene up in Vancouver, Washington. And even though you can't follow him on the socials because he's too smart for that, you can visit him at the Elbow Room in Vancouver, Washington, and you can follow the Elbow Room on Instagram at elbowroom1970. So thanks again, and if you would like to hear some of the albums that Mike is really into, some favorites of his, I know this sounds it's the opposite of what we're going for here, but there's a Spotify playlist. And I put full albums on there that he recommended to all of you to take a listen to. There's just a couple. There's like 5 or so. Head on over to the Music and Booze with Mo on Spotify page, and you will find Mike's LPs. Thank you for tuning in to our barroom chats on Music and Booze with Mo. For more info about today's guest, or if you want to connect with me, check out my Facebook page, Mo Herms. Please subscribe to the podcast and feel free to tell all your friends about it. While you're there, Give the show a rating and a review. It really helps to get the word out. If you want to hear the playlists our guests have curated, search She Be Mo on Spotify. SHEBMO. Find pictures of the interviewees and the cool stuff they create on the Music and Booze with Mo Instagram account. Lower your expectations and join us at the bar. Till next time, cheers.